Anime. Yes, this video is going to be about anime, so feel free to leave now if you don't care about that dirty weeb
stuff.
Anyway, anime is something that for many years kind of came in and out of my life. I remember as a kid sitting and watching Studio Ghibli films and just being stunned at the beauty of them, and I even watched a few shows like Blue Exorcist and Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, but then I just kind of stopped. A fair chunk of my friends do all enjoy anime, and they have done for a long time, but I used to joke about it being cringe and how I wouldn't watch that stuff, when in reality I was just waiting for the right show to come along. Fast forward to 2021, or to be more precise, June of last year, and I was in quite a rough patch. Uni was really starting to get to me, and I was quite literally at my breaking point. And to honestly cut it short, I really just needed one thing, and it was plain old escapism. Now, I actually studied creative media and production at uni, so I like to watch a lot of films, but I kind of rarely watch TV shows. The main shows I would really watch was Always Sunny or Red Dwarf on repeat, because they were just one of these things that had ended up becoming my comfort shows. Anyway, so fast forward to one night, and I was trying to get some work done for uni, and I wanted to listen to a song by Electric Light Orchestra. So I did what anyone does, and I went on YouTube to find it. To my surprise though, there was a number of random comments talking about a bunny girl fighting pop culture icons, and me being the cretin I am, I had to dig deeper. After some searching, I stumbled upon something known as the Daikon 4 opening. Now, at this point, I'd spent more than enough time finding it, and I just wanted to watch it. So I did, and it was awesome. After watching the Daikon 4 opening, I was hooked to say the least. I spent the remainder of the night researching about the guys who made it, and stumbled upon the name Hideaki Annon and the studio he helped to found, known as Gainax. Little did I know that this little research foray would literally be a turning point for me. As I read about Gainax, I stumbled across the name Neon Genesis Evangelion repeatedly, so again, I decided to look further. Doing this led me to learn about a mecha anime known as Evangelion, in which pilots are tasked to fight these strange beings known as angels and robot mechs. And again, as before, I was hooked. Evangelion is certainly a piece of media that I will never forget. Not only did I near instantly fall in love with it, it also had a lasting impact on me. To me, when I think of Evangelion, I think of a show that taught me it's okay to not be okay. I think when you first heard that the show was about robots and big monsters, you probably would have thought it would just be cool action scenes and not much else, but honestly, I think you'd be wrong to think that. Evangelion is a bit like Marmite. People either really seem to love it or they just don't, and honestly that's fine. There is a bit of a pretentious phrase used when talking about Evangelion, and it's that you probably don't get it. Now, hear me out. I'm not trying to say whether or not it's a correct statement, but what I will say is it is probably true. Evangelion was made by Japanese director Hideaki Annon, who has openly spoken about his battles with depression during his early years and throughout his whole life. Because of this, looking at Evangelion as a cut and dry mech anime, in my opinion, just does it an injustice. To me, and I want to exaggerate again that this is my opinion, to me Evangelion is far less about the cool robots and more about the broken people, as well as just being a pretty real dive into mental health. When I first started Evangelion, I was at an extreme low point. I was trapped in a constant depressive pit that I just couldn't seem to claw my way out of. It felt like the world was absolutely swallowing me, and no one could hear me, nor could they understand me. At least, that's what I thought. The first time Evangelion actually made a connection with me was around episode 3 or 4, and they bring up something called the Hedgehog's Dilemma. Now, long story short, it talks about how hedgehogs want to get close to each other to keep warm, but the closer they get, the more they hurt each other due to their spines. And the reason this connected with me is, obviously, I'm not a hedgehog, but because they then talk about the main character Shinji and how he's too afraid to get close to people because he doesn't want to be hurt, and something in me just kind of clicked. Now, by no means am I trying to say that I'm like Shinji or that I don't try to talk to people because I'm scared of being hurt, but what I'm saying is I could relate to this guy. I related to the character in front of me who, instead of risking being hurt, just ran away from his problems. Throughout the series, Shinji as a character frequently avoids his issues by, as I said, running away. Whether it's claiming that he never wants to pilot an EVA again, or that he's running into a field to get away, the kid has issues, but weirdly enough, I could relate to them. When Evangelion's at its best, it subverts everything it's set to build in the previous episodes. And I'm sure this sounds really counterproductive, but trust me, it's not. By doing this, the show really helps to bring to the forefront the characters, their issues, and just how it all culminates into what we see on screen. To put it quite simply, Evangelion is at its best when it's tearing itself apart. Asuka's character, in my opinion, completely highlights this the best. The downward spiral from when she's first introduced to who she ends up becoming is quite frankly harrowing. And put it this way, when Asuka was first introduced, I really did not like her. I thought she was obnoxious and annoying, but by the end, it just was not the case. Now, I could carry on talking about the characters and story for ages, but honestly I really don't want to. And it's not because it's bad, but the complete opposite. It's just that good in my opinion. So rather than spoon feed the story and character arcs, I would rather highlight them briefly in the hopes that I'd possibly inspire someone to watch it. As I said before, to me, Evangelion is at its best when it's in its second half, when it's tearing down the routine you've been so accustomed to watching and you truly have no idea where it's going to take you. To me, Evangelion is one of those pieces of media that only comes around a handful of times in your life. Now, obviously, just because the show connected with me doesn't mean that it'll be that case for everyone, but for me, Evangelion wasn't just a TV show. It was a lesson. It taught me to deal with my issues and that, although it feels like it when we're in our darkest times, we are never actually alone. Evangelion is something that I will always come back to. Maybe not regularly, but I know for sure that one day, whether soon or distant, I'll take the time to come back and rewatch the series, to relearn the lessons it taught me, to ground myself back into reality. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and now I do want to say that from now on I do plan to make more of these style of videos. So ever since I made that first video about Minecraft and what it meant to me, I have really enjoyed making this type of content. Being able to just vocalize my thoughts and feelings on a piece of media is honestly really cool, and I really hope you also enjoy them. If you did enjoy this video, please feel free to drop a like and subscribe, because it is totally free and you can change your mind. Anyway, again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Peace.